Welcome to the Off Script Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday.
We're like a real production. I just push the buttons to make the volume go up.
Beautifully done.
Yes, thank you.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know why we both have English accents, but this is our Neighborhood News podcast where Shari and I join each other.
Yes.
On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays just to talk about the different things going on in your neighborhood and your community. We have community correspondents dedicated to individual areas of Southwest Florida. So they are in it, they are living it, they work it. And so this is where we get our stories from. And it's pretty awesome to have. One of the things that I want to start with is out of Cape Coral. And I want to show you this video. Shari covered this all morning long. This is kind of crazy when you watch it. So watch this car go by. This is the end of Cape Coral Parkway, okay? That road does not continue. What you see right behind Shari's beautiful head is somebody's home.
That's right.
Right here. And what the issue is this family, I guess, they have had to repair, 9 times they've had cars crash because people are not slowing down at the end of Cape Coral Parkway and they're just flying right through. So they want to start the conversation again. What can we do to fix this issue? And obviously we know that it's not just that road, right? We see this across Southwest Florida, but it's not like the city hasn't tried things.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, in this particular neighborhood, the city gave us a statement in reference to it saying they've done multiple things. They've put up signage to let you know there's a roundabout there. They've adjusted some of their landscaping. They've done multiple different things to try to curtail this issue, and it's still happening. And honestly, when we first started this podcast, Amy, we were talking about this issue in a different part of Cape Coral,
Yes.
remember?
Yes.
And so I think there are two sides to the story. Sorry, it sounds like somebody's at my front door.
That's real life, my friends.
There are two sides, right? Because there's this homeowner who says, listen, somebody could get hurt, right? And thankfully, he says so far that hasn't happened, but his concern is the city needs to do more. The other side of it is people are saying, listen, the drivers are coming down this road and they are flying down Cape Coral Parkway. You can tell that person was speeding, right?
Yes.
And so those are the two sides that people are kind of going back and forth with right now on Facebook and when it comes to this particular issue.
Yeah, and so there was talk about those speed humps, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that that's going to solve the issue if you're going that fast. If you don't know the end of the road is coming, I think some of it ultimately just ends on the drivers.
Right. And then the other thing too, I will say, sometimes it's you are driving around parts of Southwest Florida and it feels like all of a sudden the roundabout does pop up or the dead end all of a sudden does pop up.
Yes.
That is real life.
It is. So I guess we're not super familiar with the roads, you do one of two things. Slow your rear end down.
Yes.
Or put your navigation on because that will show you what's coming up, right? Not even necessarily directions, but just oh, look, the road ends there.
Yeah. And that poll that you were seeing behind us this morning, we were just asking you guys, what do you think? And the majority of people said, in order to curtail this, we think more speed bumps or speed humps need to be installed in these particular areas. So
We'll follow that one. Bella, obviously, is our community correspondent, Bella Line for Cape Coral, so she's all over this. We'll see kind of how things move forward. If you have little ones in your life, and when I say little, I mean basically 4 to 18.
that is what we mean by little.
You know that when they want something, they're like little attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
And so, my son is really good at trying to persuade me into things he wants.
E-bike is the perfect example.
And guess who won? He did.
Mm-hmm.
But whether the kids want a new dog, a thing, some clothing, to go on vacation, it's a thing. So this is kind of cool because kids got to argue mock cases in kids court in front of a real judge in Fort Myers. So this was hosted by the Children's Advocacy Center, and there's the families, and this was to teach the kids and the families about the justice system, which I really love this because Judge Branning and the assistant state attorney, they helped the kids to present their cases. One of them wanted a corgi, which I love. One wanted to stay up later than their current bedtime.
Love it. Show me the argument.
And it's cool because not only does it show what the justice system does, but it also takes that, not stigma, but yeah, a little bit. Maybe some of these kids will end up being our judges, our attorneys, and just kind of show them how to argue stuff, which, those of us parents who are on the other side of it are going to be present your case. Give me the PowerPoint.
Yeah, I love it. Shout out to the Children's Advocacy Center. I saw that another group, Jack and Jill in Fort Myers, also did this as well, and they had like Joe North and a bunch of local attorneys
that.
participate. So I love seeing this, and it's so cool to see the families get involved in this way as well.
I see Joe North literally everywhere across Southwest Florida. Like he has ads and billboards and buses everywhere. He's local.
It's the bus stop. It's the bus.
It's everywhere.
Joe North, you're everywhere.
You are.
We love seeing. Oh, and we also love seeing Joe North's son
Yes.
as well. It's like Joe North
Joseph.
times two. Yeah, Joseph.
Yes.
North. Yeah.
See, I watched the commercials.
Joe.
Gosh, I can't believe back to school's already almost here, but like it's upon us.
I'm ready.
Like I ordered the supplies.
I'm talking about.
And I feel like we do have it a little bit easier than our parents did because when I was a kid, they had to drag us with the paper list
Oh yes, yes,
to
yes.
Walmart. And it's like, got this. Mom, they don't have this. What are we going to do? Got to schlep to another store.
Yes.
But I actually ordered 99% of my kids, all 3 kids, stuff on
The good old Amazon.
good old Amazon. Hold on. I'm getting a phone call. I'm wondering who that number is.
I
It's a
kind of think
local
this is going
number.
to start being a thing in our podcast. Amy's phone's ringing. Who could it be?
Yeah. Well, I always just worry, like, are the kids okay?
Of course. No, I want you to know that everyone's okay.
Anyway, so it's easy because I between Amazon, Target, Walmart, and Staples,
Yeah.
I was able to order everything I
I
needed.
love that for you.
And it just shows up at the door.
Yeah.
So right now it's sitting in boxes and piles of bags in the
Yeah.
office, and I'll put it together. We got to bring it to school for orientation, but tax-free holiday starts on Friday. So this makes a big difference because when you're buying all those school supplies, this runs August 1st through 31st every year, tax-free. So we're talking school supply items under $50. That's like most of your stuff.
right.
Pencils, paper, notebooks, whatever. Clothing under $100. So, Mom, if you were eyeing that $75 shirt, $60 shirt, and you're not going back to school, you'll still get it tax-free because this is for the whole state of Florida. And then this one's really cool, too. Computers and electronics, specific electronics, up to $1,500. So this is part of a $1.3 billion tax cut package. We have this every year, and it does help when you're buying all those back-to-school supplies.
It's permanent.
Permanent.
It's permanent in the state of Florida,
Good.
according to Governor Ron DeSantis. So
I
we'll
support
take
that.
it.
Yeah.
Please.
Every dollar.
Come on.
As they throw some
1,000%.
Benjamins behind your head. Don't.
Sorry. Neha is very disgusted by that. All right. Keep it pushing. Sorry. All right.
I used AI like 3 times today. Did
Oh, you are speaking my language.
you? Okay. I know she's like AI dependent at this point. I think eventually we are all going to be. I am kind of at work for some things now. I had to put okay, don't judge me.
No judge. This is a judgment-free zone.
I put a sentence that I wrote out and I was like, something's wrong with that punctuation. Like, I think I got comma happy. So I dumped it into our
AI.
AI that we're allowed to use here. And I was like, hey, is the punctuation right here? And they're like, no.
Yes.
And then they schooled me and told me why I was wrong and gave me the correct sentence. I was like, basically, I had 1 extra comma. Leave me alone.
You know, the thing about like AI is like it will let you know.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're wrong and here's why.
Right. I remember when it was like, you need to lose weight. Not you, it was me that I was talking to, but it'll keep it real with you.
It does.
Yeah.
Um,
So this is interesting because this survey that recently surveyed teenagers across the United States says 70% of teens have used AI companions for emotional support. So you can see the concern here. We know we've had the conversations about adults using it for emotional support, but now we've all been in teenage land where you're questioning all the things and you have all the emotions. And the concern here is that kids are opening up ChatGPT and saying how they're feeling, what they're feeling, whatever.
and like, what do I do?
And what do I do? Asking for solutions versus consulting like a parent or, guidance counselor or stuff like that. But what I do think is interesting about this is 80% of teens still spend more time with real friends than with AI. And I think
that's good.
I think that's important because you can be like, oh, their generation is so dependent on AI. But these kids are still, we had this conversation, Amy, at dinner on Saturday. Like we were sitting around the table talking and, I told you, little 12-year-old always has something to say and critiquing us as the adults for using AI. But she was like, I would much rather just talk to a person.
I kind of
And
love that.
I love that their generation is still like, yes, I might open up ChatGPT to answer some questions, but for the most part, like, I would rather interact with another human.
I think it's coming full circle. I met some young moms recently, and they had those kids that are of tablet or a phone at the restaurant age. They're like, no,
Yes.
my kid will not have screen time.
Yeah.
Which is such a departure from like the past 5-7 years
Right.
where I don't like if we go out to a restaurant, I make my kids sit and eat with us. We color, we do tic-tac-toe
There's no screen time.
until if we are sitting with other adults and it is going like exceptionally long, then I may consider it. But for the most part, no, not at a restaurant. It is very rare.
I respect that.
Because I see all too often, right? Like you go to a restaurant and the kids don't even know how to interact or have like the social dinner where you're like chatting. Tell me about your week.
Yeah.
Tell me about this. Let's
Yeah.
talk about whatever.
Exactly.
So I think it's important for me personally, it's important for me to teach those skills to my kids, right? But I do think like the younger generation is getting away from it.
Yes.
You know, like no screen time.
Yes.
I don't want my kids to have social media, which is just, it's kind of fascinating.
I agree. And it's so funny because we spent so much time thinking that their generation would be like even more into technology than we were, but it just seems like they're taking a little bit more of like a stance and maybe like more of a desire to interact with humans. And I'm fascinated by that.
And I don't know, I feel like maybe just being more selective of when and where they're using it, right? Like using it where it's appropriate and where it's going to help them the most to work or, you know, to help them do a task, but not to just like aimlessly scroll and watch other people's lives.
Is this the same for your school? Our school is like, we are going this new school year, we are going to start teaching your kids how to use AI in the classroom, which is very different from the policy that was last year and the couple years before, which was like, no, like you are not using this.
Yeah, it's like
or
anything.
very minimal use.
Yeah, we had a discussion about this at my kids' school the year before. Just like they're going to start slowly incorporating lessons about it because I mean the reality is they got to learn it
100%.
because it's going to be part of life
100%.
and it's going to be life, right?
Yes.
Like we're already seeing. What did they mention? How many thousands of jobs are going to be cut across the state of Florida
Exactly.
because of AI? So I think that's fine. I think it's good.
Yep. I am definitely in support of it. Also, let's be honest, they're already using it anyway. They're already
100%.
using AI, and ChatGPT and all those things anyway.
Yeah, Siri is technically AI.
Yes.
Alexa,
Yes.
AI.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
We just didn't call it that before.
Yep. Now I'm very conscious. I almost want to unplug all the Alexas in the house, but that's a different topic.
You have a dog.
I do. I know you're a cat person.
I
Cat, possibly.
love all animals.
Okay.
I'm not like a cat person.
Okay.
I love our cat.
You have a cat.
He is
yeah.
so needy though. Ugh, baby Ethel. Anyway, the reason we're talking about cats is because there is this Lee County kitten adoption event. It's on August 7th. It's in Estero. So the Lee County Sheriff's Office Community Outreach Center, which is at Miramar Outlets, they are hosting this. It runs from 11 to 1. They're going to have like Starbucks and stuff, and it's a kitten adoption event. I am seeing at all the shelters. They're like, we have so many
Yes.
cats and a
Yes.
lot of dogs too.
Yes, yes. One of them was posting about how like a lot of those animals came from some of the areas that flooded in the United States, and then some of them were pregnant and all the other things. So if you need a kitty or a dog, check out the shelter.
Yeah, adoption fees are going to be waived, and so this is Lee Lost Pets is where you can like register in advance if you want to take a peekaboo at those cute little kitty pies.
Yeah, yeah, that was so.
Was yours a meow? No. Oh, I thought you meowed. I was like meow, and I thought you. Meow. Meow. Have you ever seen Super Troopers, the movie? No. Dude, there's this funny part where the officer is messing with these teenagers who get pulled over and who may like not be in their right state of mind. Maybe they were like
On a substance.
drinking something or on a substance. I can't remember. And so every like fourth word, the trooper meows. He's like license and registration, meow. And then he keeps doing it, but it's so funny. I don't know. I haven't seen this movie in like a decade, but for some reason, that's what just came to mind. Hi, friends. How are you?
That's so hilarious, and also like connects a lot of dots for me because sometimes Sean will just go meow, like meowsers. He always does it all the time, and I never knew what movie it was.
I mean,
from.
maybe it's
Yeah.
from Super
Or
Troopers.
maybe he's just weird.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, it's kind of like a short, abbreviated chat with us on this version of today's Neighborhood News podcast.
Yeah, but I feel like we kind of
covered all of the stories that you should know for the day. I do think McCollum Hall in Fort Myers is very interesting and what's happening there. Our Caitlin Knapp, our senior reporter, covered how City Council and the CRA, that whole conversation around McCollum Hall has escalated. There's been like a $4 million gap in funding. And obviously this is, if you're not familiar with that area, it's this like hall in the Dunbar community that brought all of the musical jazz greats back
Big
in
names.
the day. Yes. To that area. It was like it was dope. I
It
wish
was
I
the
could
place
have
to
gone.
be back then.
Yeah. And now for years, they've been talking about what to do with it and all these things. It sounded like they were getting to a sweet spot, for lack of better words, and it sounds like they're not anymore.
The brakes are being pumped.
Yeah, and so they had a developer, and then there are all these questions that City Council has been asking, and so basically it's going to become a CRA project, a community redevelopment agency for the Dunbar community. So it's like a big question mark on McCollum Hall again.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those things that a lot of people are watching closely because it is an area that needs, like they were going to put in a market and what did they
food
call that?
hall.
A food hall, if you will, like almost like food trucky type things, but not a truck, like in there.
Right.
You know?
Right. Different options where it's almost like a food court, where
Yeah.
you walk in and you have different options. Then you have like venues for live music. And I know at one point, I can't remember, they were talking about like residences as well.
Yes.
And so now, and remember the last time we covered this, right? It was such a big win for the community. Remember the meeting was packed?
Oh, packed.
Everybody was there and they felt like it was such a win. We were making progress. And so it's unfortunate for the people who have been cheering for this project to move forward because now they're pumping the brakes and saying, wait a second, where's this money?
Yeah, so Miyoshi Price is our Fort Myers community correspondent, and she is all over this. Like, if you ever want to know what's going on in Fort Myers, Miyoshi's got you covered. So you can always go to fox4now.com and find all her coverage on this in the past. And she knows when the next meeting is, and she's talking to all the players. So she'll stay on top of that for you for sure. I also am going to put something on, what's today? Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
So probably by tomorrow or Thursday, there are so many back to school giveaway festival party events this upcoming weekend. So I'll make sure to get those on the website for you as well and on our social media.
Love it. I feel like I should say free haircuts at Twin Cuts.
Yes.
I should let you guys know that that's coming up very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kisses the guy who owns Twin Cuts.
Okay, on that note, Janae is looking like, how do these people have this job? That's true.
We love you all. We hope you have a wonderful day today, and we hope you'll join us back here tomorrow at 10 o'clock for Off Script.
Have a good day, Southwest Florida. Bye.